You're watching Celtics Today. I am Will Scott. There's been some Jaylen Brown trade rumors as of late. So on today's show, we're going to break down 5 different Jaylen Brown trade ideas, talk about some teams that might be interested in a trade and what they might give up to land Jaylen Brown. Now, I want to hear from y'all down in the comments before we start today's show. Will Jaylen Brown be traded? Y for yes, N for no, down in the comments section. Predict it. Is Jaylen Brown going to be a Celtic next season or not? I think this offseason, and I'll reiterate what I said in my perfect offseason video, but you got to make a call on Jaylen Brown one way or another. You can't go into this upcoming season having done nothing with Jaylen Brown. You either have to extend him or trade him. If you don't want to pay him all that money, then maybe trade him, or if he rejects an extension, then trade him. But you have to make a call one way or another on Jaylen Brown before you start the 2023 season because he is a free agent after the completion of the 2023-2024 NBA season. Here is our first trade idea that we are going to discuss on today's show. And it is with the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, the Celtics have been linked to Damian Lillard. Maybe they will explore the possibility of trading for Dame this offseason. But here is trade idea number 1 from Celtics Today. Damian Lillard goes to the Boston Celtics along with Portland's 2024 first-round pick. The Blazers receive Jaylen Brown and Payton Pritchard. Pritchard has requested trade. He has been in some trade rumors as well. Damian Lillard did this past season with the Portland Trail Blazers. 32.2 points per game, 7.3 assists per game, 4.8 rebounds per game. He's aging. He's getting up there, but he is still putting up monster numbers. Just 58 games played this year, though. So it is worth noting that he did miss some time. When you're talking about this trade, I do believe that a Jaylen Brown for Damian Lillard swap could make a lot of sense for both sides, because if you're the Portland Trail Blazers, you have the number 3 overall pick. It's the expectation that Wembanyama and Brandon Miller are going to go top 2. So that would mean Scoot Henderson is on the board number 3, who's also a point guard. So if you feel like it's kind of time to move on from Damian Lillard, send him to a contender in Boston, give him a shot to win a ring, trade for an up-and-coming superstar like Jaylen Brown, have Scoot and Jaylen Brown be your top 2 guys along with Anthony Simons, I think that could make some sense for Portland, and I think I don't want to split up the Jays, but some people might make the argument that the Celtics should do that at this point. Pair Jaylen Brown, I should say Jason Tatum with Damian Lillard. That would be one of the best duos in the league. If a move goes down, we're going to have you covered, so be sure to subscribe for more Boston Celtics news and rumors. Hit that subscribe button below, and also turn on your notifications. It's the best way to stay in the loop with the C's. The second trade idea also features the Portland Trail Blazers, but it does not feature Damian Lillard. So here it is. Celtics receive Anthony Simons, up-and-coming player, just completed his 5th year in the league, number 3 overall pick, and a first-round pick next year as well. The Blazers get Jaylen Brown and a second-round pick next year. Anthony Simons is a good player. Now, would he be a better number 2 than Jaylen Brown? No, which is why I'm a little bit hesitant about this trade, but it is worth noting the Celtics would get the number 3 overall pick. They could maybe take Scoot, maybe trade that pick for a star player. But Simons is a good player. 21.1 points per game, 4.1 assists per game. He shot 37.7% from three-point range this past season in Portland after getting a nice payday last offseason. I think Simons and the number 3 overall pick would be really intriguing because Anthony's a great player, and then you could maybe flip that number 3 pick for a star player that's on the trade block. Use that as some trade bait to maybe get a better number 2 for Jason Tatum. I think Simons is a great player, but are you winning a title with him being the number 2? Probably not. But if you can flip that number 3 pick for a number 2 for Jason Tatum, have that guy, Jason Tatum and Simons, be your top 3 guys, I think that would be a championship caliber roster. Let's go to Houston for our third trade idea. Here it is. The Celtics receive Jabari Smith Jr., who is the number 3 overall pick in last year's draft out of Auburn. Kenyon Martin, good up-and-coming young player. The number 4 overall pick this year and a first-round pick in 2025 that belongs to the Brooklyn Nets. The Rockets receive Jaylen Brown and Payton Pritchard. Payton Pritchard is going to be featured in a couple of these trades we're talking about after requesting a trade. Now, who says no to this deal? Is it Boston or Houston? Let me know down in the comments section. Type BOS or type HOU. Who says no to this deal that would send Jaylen Brown to the Houston Rockets, Jabari Smith, Kenyon Martin, the number 4 overall pick, and a first-round pick in 25 to Boston? The Rockets could certainly be a serious threat to land Jaylen Brown if the Celtics do indeed decide to shop Brown this offseason for a couple of reasons. Number one, Ime Udoka, the former Celtics head coach, is the new head coach in Houston. You got to think that he'd have interest in bringing Brown to H-Town if that was a possibility. And you got to think Jaylen Brown might have some interest in playing for Ime Udoka again. Number two, the Rockets have plenty of cap space, so I can certainly see them making a move for Jaylen Brown if the opportunity did present itself. You also look at a team like the Atlanta Hawks as we get into our fourth trade idea here. The Hawks would get Jaylen Brown and Danilo Gallinari here in this deal. The Celtics would receive DeJounte Murray, who maybe didn't mesh as well with Trae Young as people in Atlanta might have hoped. John Collins, who has been in trade rumors for years now in Atlanta. And the 15th overall pick. And if you do make that trade, your starting 5 would be Marcus Smart, DeJounte Murray, John Collins, Jason Tatum, and Robert Williams. That's pretty good. You could even make the argument that's better than the starting 5 the Celtics currently have. Now, the Hawks are the betting favorites to land Jaylen Brown if Brown is traded. But when I'm looking at the Hawks as a possible trade partner, I don't necessarily fall in love with the package they can offer. I think that's honestly one of the best packages that the Hawks can offer here for Jaylen Brown, and I still don't know if it'd be enough. Now, you land a good player in DeJounte Murray, you land a good player in John Collins, but still, I'm not sure how I feel about that trade. But Boston cannot settle here. If you do trade Jaylen Brown, he is an unbelievable talent. You have got to get the best possible package in return. I know JB is from Atlanta. He'd probably have interest in going back, but the Celtics are making the call here when you're talking about a trade. Jaylen Brown does not have a no-trade clause. The Celtics can trade him anywhere for whoever they want in return. So Boston absolutely cannot settle here when you're talking about a Jaylen Brown trade, which is why I like this deal right here with the Brooklyn Nets. Celtics receive Mikal Bridges, Dorian Finney-Smith, and the 21st overall pick for Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. Now, I know y'all are not going to like Marcus Smart being involved in this deal, but I know I've said earlier as well that I would be a little bit surprised if both him and Brogdon are both on this basketball team next year. I do believe one of those guys could get moved. But you lay in Mikal Bridges, who is absolutely phenomenal in Brooklyn. I mean, 26 games, the guy was unbelievable. Put up massive numbers. Dorian Finney-Smith and the 21st overall pick. I think this is a really good package that Boston would be getting here. Yeah, you got to give up Brown. Yeah, you got to give up Smart. But you lay in Mikal Bridges, who has the possibility, or the potential, I should say, to be a superstar in this league after what we saw from him in Brooklyn. And then Dorian Finney-Smith, who's one of the best defenders in the league. I mean, you saw what happened to the Mavs defensively when he left. So I really like this deal as we welcome in producer Jeff Cooperstein. Coop, your thoughts on this deal? Is this a fair deal for both sides?
Yeah, I love Mikal Bridges. I think he's one of the best up-and-coming players in the league. The Nets receiving Brown and Smart back, it kind of keeps, they're not a contender in the East, but it keeps them competitive in the East. I think I would like this deal for both sides. I'm not sure the Nets are giving up on Mikal Bridges that easy. I think they denied a trade offer of 3 first-round picks for him at last year's deadline.
Correct, yeah.
So it'd be a tough get for the Celtics, but if they were able to swing Mikal Bridges, I mean, they would be right at the top of the Eastern Conference once again.
Here's my thing, and I get it. You got to give up Smart in this deal. But I think this trade makes the Celtics a better basketball team, and I think it gives them a better shot to win a title. And if it does both of those things, then the Celtics should seriously consider trading Jaylen Brown. But any package that you get for Jaylen Brown that does not make you better, you should not do it. You should not do it. Do not settle here for the Celtics. Now, Producer Coop, what trade did you like the best out of those 5?
Honestly, probably this one. I think Bridges has the most upside and the most longevity in the league, so it would be number 5 for me.
I like number 5. I also liked trade idea number 3 with the Houston Rockets. I get it. You're not really getting a superstar in exchange, but you're getting a handful of good young players in Jabari Smith, Kenyon Martin, and whoever the number 4 overall pick is going to be. I did like that trade as well. Which trade did you like the best? Let me know down in the comments section. 5 trade ideas talked about on today's show. What trade did you like the best?